Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely amazing day. For my challenge, I chose black card and one mandala stamp. If you like my cards today, I hope you'll watch this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and feel inspired to create something along with me. For all my cards today, I used this beautiful stamp and cutting die from Crafter's Companion called Aura. And for my first card, I'm going to use a stamping platform and I'm going to heat emboss the mandala image on white card. You can use watercolor card or just regular card. First, we're going to need anti-static bag just to make sure we don't transfer any fingerprints on our image. And we're going to use Versamark ink, which is a little bit sticky and transparent. And that way we will see the color of the paper. Because for my first mandala, I chose clear embossing powder by Wow. When you use stamping platform, it's really easy to stamp the image in the same exact place, which makes your projects really easy and quick. As you can see, I'm using clear embossing powder and I'm going to sprinkle it all over my card. Then I'm going to get rid of the excess and I'm going to use heat tool to melt the powder. And I really like this bit because it is like magic. You can actually see how the powder is changing color and looks a little bit transparent. To color in my mandala today, I chose Tricolor Aqua pens by Spectrum Noir, and I will leave the names of these pens in the description down below. For this particular one, I chose Cool Marine, and you've got Teal, Aquamarine, and Lake Blue in this one pen. Then for the greens, I chose Fresh Verdant, and it comes with Bud Green, Meadow, and Verdant Green. For the purples and pinks, I chose Rich Floral, and it comes with purple, hot pink, and heather. And with the oranges and reds, I chose Warm Fury, which comes with gold, crimson, and sunset. When you use aqua pens or aqua markers, or you can also use zig markers, I really encourage you to use watercolor card because then the colors spread and mix really beautifully and easily. However, today for my project, I just use regular card as you saw before when I was embossing the image. To apply the color, as you can see, I'm just making a mark on the paper and then using a wet paintbrush, I'm spreading the color on the card. And what's really unique about any aqua markers or zig markers, you can actually color in the image and then you can apply just a little bit of color and then you've got like shadows and highlights when you use wet paintbrush and spread the color. It's absolutely unique technique. And I really encourage you to try any aqua markers you've got with water because then you can create really beautiful like stained glass window effects, and that's really pretty. And I think it took me about 10 minutes to color in this mandala image, but it was definitely worth it. And what I actually did, I colored in two of the same image with the same color pattern because I wanted to have rainbow colors on black card, and I think the black and rainbow gives really nice contrast. Have you ever used black card and rainbow colors together? If you have, I would really like to see your project. If you haven't, I really encourage you to do it because the effect is absolutely beautiful and unique. So coming back to our mandala here, This is our first technique. So we're going to use aqua markers and color in the image with wet paintbrush. And then it's time to cut it out. You can also get rid of the excess of the color using a tissue. When you die cut your mandala, I really encourage you to use washi tape just to make sure it doesn't move in your die cutting machine. So now you can see I've got two mandalas and I cut them in half. And now it's time to put them on a black card. But before we do that, I actually die cut the frame using this square die. Have a look at your stash. You probably have some nesting dies you can use. It doesn't have to be a square, it can be a different shape. Now I'm placing my mandalas, making sure they actually fit on my card. And as you can see, I used a gap here because then we're going to put a tiny smaller frame on top of these mandalas. So we will have like a double frame. Because what I did on the frame you can see on the right, I actually put double-sided tape. And if your tape is a little wider, you can always use your scissors to make it narrower. Here is my 6 by 6 inches cut base. And as you can see, I put double-sided tape on the back of my panel. And I'm going to peel off the double-sided tape and use liquid glue to put my card on the base. And now it's time to peel off that double-sided foam adhesive and stick it on my card, and that will give me really nice dimension and interest. What do you think about black and rainbow colors together? Do you like that effect? So now our card is nearly done, then we just need a sentiment, and for the sentiment I use this beautiful happy birthday cutting die from Crafter's Companion and gold mirror card, and I actually put the sentiment in the middle, and I think that works really well. And now just to add a little bit more sparkle to our project, I chose to use small gems from my stash. As you can see, it comes with different colors here, but you can use any gems you've got at home. You can also use pearls. If you want to add even more shine, you can also add some sparkle pen on top of your mandala. And that's our first card done. For my second card, I'm going to heat emboss mandala on black card. And again, I'm using anti-static bag, Versamark ink, and when you use stamping platform, you can always go back and stamp the image again in exactly the same place, which makes your projects really easy. And actually, I was testing the stamping platform, and this one is 8 by 8 inches by Crafter's Companion with magnetic base, and I really like it. What is your favorite stamping platform? Do you have any, or do you just use acrylic blocks? If you have your favorite stamping platform, can you let me know in the comments down below? I would really like to know which one is your favorite, and can you please tell me why you like it? So now I use the same clear embossing powder by Wow, and I embossed the image using my heat gun. And now it's time to die cut my mandala, and again I'm using washi tape just to make sure it doesn't move in the die cutting machine. For this project, I chose to use liquid glue and glitters from my stash. As you can see, I've got a set of 6 glitter jars from Crafter's Companion, and I put my favorite liquid glue in this small bottle because it has really precise nozzle. So I thought it would be a great opportunity first to try the small bottle, and the second to add glitter. I'm not a huge fan of glitter and card making, but actually this technique works really well because once the glitter is stuck with liquid glue, it's stuck. It doesn't come off. And I chose different colors, and again I wanted to go with rainbow colors. Off camera I also heat embossed and die cut all the smaller elements of mandala. But if you don't have this particular mandala set, you can also use any stamps from your stash and then use scissors to fussy cut all the elements. That is absolutely fine. As you can see, I'm going with my glue with color by color, and that way your glitters won't mix. Have you tried that technique with glitters before? Because very often we use them for shaker cards, but this way we add really nice sparkle to our projects. And as you can see, I'm using my pokey tool just to get rid of the excess of glitter, and that worked really well. I also added gold at the top, and then you can see all the other parts I created off camera. Now it's time to check how it looks like when I put all these elements together, and I really encourage you to add a little bit of dimension to your mandala. Now I'm going to create a black frame, and as you can see, again, I've got 6 by 6 inches white card base, and I'm putting all these black panels here. So the black one is a little bit bigger than the frame again, and I use double-sided tape on the frame just to give it a little bit of dimension, and it worked really well for this project. And now it's time to put mandala on our card, and I used first of all liquid glue to apply the bottom part to the card. And what I really encourage you, if it doesn't stick straight away, use a pokey tool to hold it for a few seconds, and your elements will be stuck properly, and you will make sure that will never ever come off. Now when this is ready, we can apply all the other elements, and I used this 3D gel glue. You can also use foam pads if you want, but I didn't want to cut all these small elements from the very middle part, and you can also use glue gun if you want. The choice is yours, and maybe the camera doesn't really catch how the glitter looks on the card, but it catches the light really beautifully, and I really like the way it looks on the card. And the big advantage of using 3D gel glue, you can actually move the glue with your pokey tool and make sure it's evenly spread. Now it's time for a sentiment, and again I use the same one from Crafter's Companion with gold mirror cut, and then it's time to add some gems. And that's our second card done. It's exactly the same stamp and die from the first project, but the look is completely different. Now have a look at our third project, and this time we're going to use Vellum. And we're going to heat emboss our mandala stamp on Vellum. And again, it's the same process, so we use Versamark, embossing body, just to get rid of any fingerprints if we have, and then stamp the image and heat emboss using clear embossing powder. However, when you heat emboss Vellum, I really encourage you to preheat your tool for a couple of seconds and hold the heat tool a little bit further away from Vellum, because it might melt too quickly. Vellum is really thin, so just make sure you use your heat tool properly. And when this is done, we can sort of fussy cut around using scissors. And what I wanted to create here, because we know that Vellum is really tricky to stick with liquid glue because we can see it, we can use double-sided tape to create a sticker. And to color in my mandala, I chose these metallic markers from Spectre Noir, and as you can see, I started with the back of my image and I colored in a few bits, and then I colored in the front. And using the same colors here, you've got completely different image. That looks so beautiful in real life. Now it's time to create a sticker with our Vellum mandala. And as you can see, I'm using a big bit of double-sided tape, and then I'm going to fussy cut around and then die cut the mandala, and that way we won't see any adhesive sticking on our project. I think it's the easiest and quickest way with vellum. I heat embossed the mandalas on black card, and to add a little bit more interest to my project, I decided to color in some of the spots of mandala, but this time instead of using the metallic markers straight away on black card, I decided to put them on my glass mat and use wet paintbrush to spread the color. This way the colors won't be that vivid and bright, and my vellum mandala will be our main focal point. And when you use this technique with wet paintbrush and metallic markers, you get sort of chalky style, but it really worked well for this project. As you can see, I've got double-sided tape on the back of my panel, and now I'm going to create a beautiful purple frame using metallic marker, and I'll leave the names of all the markers down in the description so you can check them out. And this panel is slightly bigger than the other one we created, and now it's time to put all the elements on 6 by 6 inches card base. I really wonder if you've ever used black card for your projects. If you have, what is your experience? Do you enjoy using black card in your project? Do you think it gives you enough contrast? I would really like to know your opinion. I think we don't use black card enough. Okay, so now I've got my vellum sticker, and I'm peeling off the double-sided back, and it's time to stick our mandala here, and it's time to add a sentiment and some gems. You know me, I really love gems, so these projects are really perfect to play with them. Now you can see all three projects side by side, and I really wonder which one is your favorite. Can you please let me know in the comments down below? I really encourage you to have a look at your stash, find a mandala stamp, and create some beautiful projects. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting. On the left and on the right, you can also have a look at my other videos. Have an amazing day and see you later. Bye!